Welcome to Happily Ever Afters, where love doesn't stop at romance. Join us as we share the tales of everyday magic and celebrate life's sweetest moments. Hear inspiring accounts of love, intimacy, and pure joy as we uncover the secrets behind true devotion and partnerships that really work. Brace yourself for a full-on heart melting. Here's your host, Carlos Clemente.
Hey, welcome back to Happily Ever After.
Recording in progress.
Keep going.
Okay. I don't know what that was. All right. We got a great show today. And of course, my sidekick is here today, Miss Dorothy Lucy. How are you?
You know what? Happy, so ready for Happily Ever Afters.
All right. Okay. Got a great guest today, or guests.
And they're matching. They're kind of adorable.
Yeah, they look great. Kim, Alexis, and Jeff Schwartz. I said it right? Okay. Some of you may know who Kim Alexis is.
Massive supermodel.
Yes. And now she gets to be the supermodel for Jeff. And he likes that too, I'm sure. All right. But they have a great story, and why don't we just get into it a little bit? Because, Kim, your I guess your legacy.
Since you were, 17, you were discovered? You were a baby.
I was discovered at 17, started working at 18, yeah.
You know, I remember, you weren't much older than 17 back in the 90s, seeing you when I was living in New York and we were at some charity event. And I just remember you had on a blue gown, and I thought, that is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, how funny. Yeah, I don't know what that was for. I'd have to see the gown.
It was a million charity events ago for you, but I have such a memory.
Yeah.
All right, Kim, let's go. All right, you started at 17. Time has moved on. You've done Sports Illustrated. You've done a lot of stuff.
Like 500 magazine covers.
Yeah. All right. What have you gotten out of it? I mean, seriously, besides the fame and everything, what do you feel about what you have done?
Well, more than anything, I've had great experiences. The great experiences have given me memories, but also self-reflection. I think I've grown personally, and I have a lot of good friends around the country, around the world. Sometimes I have to ask people, where was it we met? Because it could be anywhere. So I had a lot of great experiences. I had a lot of bad ones, but you reflect on the bad and figure out what happened and then figure out how to fix it.
Well, because you were so young when you started.
Yeah.
All right, speaking of a good experience, it's sitting right next to you.
Wearing pink.
All right, tell us a little bit.
Pink, and he says, what color should I wear? I'm like, pink, and that's all I could think of was pink, so we're both in pink.
Well, tell us
we dressed a lot alike.
Tell us about this experience with this young man. How did it start? How did it grow?
He's younger. He's 5 years younger. So we met in Boulder, and through mutual friends. And
an old high school friend of mine, actually, that I went to high school with, introduced us.
Yeah.
And were either one of you living in Boulder?
I was living in Boulder, but I was getting ready. I'd been there for about 4 years and was getting ready to move back to New York City. And so my girlfriend said, you really need to meet this guy. He's really nice. And I'm like, no more guys. So since I was leaving, I figured, oh, what the heck, we can go to dinner. But dinner just became comfortable, and I kept leaning into him. And he's just become home base very quickly. And I realized that he was not something I normally, he always, what do you say? Wasn't your type of guy?
Yeah, I wasn't her type of guy. That was much different than her previous two husbands.
Yeah.
So what did you do different?
He's just a different personality. So I just needed someone like him. You only need one. I mean, my 3 sons aren't married, and I say, you only need one, just one person. So it just took me that long to appreciate, but I appreciate him more now because I've been through so much of what I didn't want in a marriage or a husband. And so not to dishonor my exes, but just to say that we're just much happier.
But from what I know of you guys, Jeff, you were never going to get married. And
Yeah,
Kim, you were moving to New
51-year-old
York. Like,
bachelor
how did it
never-
happen?
Well, I was a 51-year-old bachelor, and I just figured that, marriage was going to pass me by. And I thought my friends were playing a practical joke on me, actually, when they said we're going to go out to dinner that night. And as I was asleep on the front porch, they said, you better get ready. And so I think it caught us both off guard, which is good because I don't think either one of us were looking for a long-term relationship. And it started out as a friendship. And then the next thing you know, she was moving to New York and she had no one to drive her. So I offered to fly in the following week and drive her Hertz truck across country with her. And that's when we got to really know each other. And we learned a lot about each other. She put up with my singing for 4 days.
Yes, that's called putting up.
It's actually more yodeling. It's not singing. And I told her that my dad taught me when we were driving on the interstate that never let the gas tank get below a half a tank. And she didn't understand it until she got out, handed me the credit card, went into the truck stop and came back out. And I threw her up against the truck and we made out all across the country.
I was just going to get my credit card.
At a gas station. You are such a romantic.
Now, Jeff,
Well, let me tell you something. It actually never made it further than like 3/4 because it was like I couldn't reach across the cab. It was too big to make out. And so I needed to find a reason to stop and get gas. So it was a good reason.
Well, and I had to pee, so.
okay, Jeff,
But it was a great experience getting to know her, and I got to meet her family unexpectedly because they were having a little family reunion, and the kissing stopped when I got to Buffalo with her family.
Again, telling little parts of the story. So
She's a better storyteller than me.
the 4-day truck drive got me across country from Boulder to New York State, and my parents were in Buffalo. They happened to be, as we're driving across, having a family reunion with my sister and my brother-in-law and my nephew and one of my 3 sons. So there was going to be no more kissing anywhere randomly because I was still trying to figure out what I wanted to do and who I was and what was going on. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
And so, wait, Jeff, you met the whole family like right then?
I slept in the basement with her brother-in-law and his son on the couch, the psychedelic 1970s retro couch.
Yep.
And her father used to come down at 4 a.m. to wake me up to go fishing.
Yep.
4 a.m. Are you up yet? I'm like, no, but I guess I am now.
Jeff,
Did they know something was going on or maybe something was starting?
Well, they asked, and I'm like, no. Like, we just, I take a while to process things. Plus, I goofed up before, and I wasn't going to goof up again, and especially in front of my son. So, to me, I needed to slow down, and other people were going to be involved in my decisions, and so we had to take it slow. And so, after being in Buffalo and dropping some of my stuff off, I went to New York City by myself, and he flew down to Florida for a business meeting. And I said goodbye. I'm like, who wants to date a guy that lives in Scottsdale, Arizona? And so I thought I was going to make it big in New York City. And so I went 6 months without speaking to him, and he let me. And that's not normally him. He's Mr. Follow Through. So there was something, he just kind of knew he needed me to process and grow and learn to appreciate him. So
It was a long 6 months, but it was worth it.
Jeff, did you realize who you were with the whole time? How did you process that?
Well, I learned very quickly at dinner the first night that this is not who I expected. Because I expected this New York socialite, pretentious woman, and what I got was this really down-to-earth, sweet, humble, kind human being that I wanted to be around. Like she was infectious. It was, and I felt like I could talk to her about anything, and it didn't faze her. She wasn't judgmental, and I think that's one of the things as you get older, you always, concerned about. So how much is somebody going to judge me, and how do I find true love? And when I met her and got to know her, it's like there was no judgment. It was like I was immediately attracted to her, but I knew I needed to give her time to figure out what she wanted to do, and fortunately, that happened.
Yeah. So as he was driving me across country, he had fallen off a horse. So he would not let me drive the rental truck, going back to the rental truck. And so he kept pounding his leg. And I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, well, I fell off a horse and my leg's kind of numb. And I'm like, let me drive the truck. And he's like, no, no, no. So as he drops me off, I say thank you and go on my merry way to New York City. I let the 6 months go by, and then it's the mid of winter, and I go to visit a friend down in Georgia, and she puts me on the back of a horse that she had trained, a Frisian horse, and she says, she's a photographer, and she says, everyone takes photos on my horse. So I did a picture standing in boots on the top of her horse, like high up in the air. And I was fine, and then did more photo shoot. You know, it doesn't just stop at one. So your photo shoot. I'm sitting cross-legged, no saddle, on the back of her horse, crisscross applesauce, whatever you call that. And the horse took a step for a cookie. And I slid off the back and slammed onto the gravel. And so pretty much hurt my back. And the horse's name was Grace. So I fell from Grace, and then I realized I needed to call him to say, wow, now
At least
I know
not the
what it
face.
feels like. No, I landed on my back. But I just appreciated him driving me cross country. So I started texting him again saying, thank you so much. Now I know what it feels like to fall off a horse.
And my text back to her was, and this was like, Kim Alexis is calling me a stud. She says, I fell off a horse. Now I know what it feels like. You're a stud. And I'm like, I love you, with a big smiley face, not, meaning it like I love you. Like, and then we started talking, and I was doing some work for a nonprofit called Child Help that helps abused children across the country. And so I invited Kim to go to an event in DC, and then and then it turned out there was another event in Phoenix, and I said, well, why don't you come in to that event? And that's what really brought us together again. And she came into the event, and
came out to Scottsdale.
Yeah, she came out to Scottsdale, and I told her I didn't want to get my heart broken. So when she got into the house, I said, you see this half of the house? It's yours. Stay over there. Don't come over here. And that's the way the weekend was, that I wanted to get to know her, and I didn't want the physical part to get in the way. I wanted to make sure that my heart wasn't going to get broken and it was real. And
so there was no making out in the living room?
No, we did not. In fact, they had one bedroom. They had one hotel room left in Palm Springs, and I made sure they had 2 beds, and I said, stay over there.
You made it sound like we were sleeping together all across country. But we weren't. We weren't. But I just still didn't want to go there. Like, I just didn't want my heart broken. And so when she got ready to leave to go to the Oscars, she said, I don't want to leave. And I said, well, then come back. And that's what started this, cross country love affair. We met in different places. We'd go to Florida and meet with her, see her parents for her father's birthday. And I met her boys. But within 6 months, we were engaged and married. So
yeah, we got married in the Rainbow Room.
No, we didn't get married in the.
No, we got engaged in the Rainbow Room.
Okay, get the story right.
Yeah,
I want to divert a little bit here, Kim. We know you've been modeling for a long time, and you did Sports Illustrated and all that. And recently, Gayle King did a photo shoot for Sports Illustrated. As a model, how do you look at what she did, and what does that do for women?
I didn't see her photos, so I don't know.
She looked good.
How old is she?
She's 69.
Okay. But I think it's not the age, it's how you feel and how you take care of yourself, and so much lifestyle. And that's what I speak about now, is so much of clean living and making sure that what you're doing and how you support your body helps it to stay young and agile. So, and life, even so, life is so much more than just physical looking at somebody, working on the inside of your life and your heart and who you are and how you give back to others, and your kindness to others, I think also makes you more beautiful anyway. So I didn't see her photo. I'm not sure if she's fit or not. I'm not sure what you were going for, but I think we can celebrate women, and if it encourages others to do their best and to maybe get back in the gym or start a healthier lifestyle, that I think I'll go for it.
I love everything you have to say now about pro-aging and aging well.
Yeah. So I just want to age naturally. I don't want to try and keep up with the 20 or 30-year-olds. I get mad when I see the anti-wrinkle cream commercials and they've got 20 or 30-year-old women on. And I'm like, come on, they don't even know what a wrinkle looks like yet. So I believe it's important to be relatable and to be credible. And so I don't do fillers. I've never done Botox, and I'm not going to. And so I just feel that I can look good at my age. I'll be 64 in a month and a half, something like that. So it is what it is. And I think part of accepting who you are and aging gracefully is just letting things happen naturally and being the best you can.
A beautiful woman in so many ways.
Yes.
What are you doing
beautiful
now?
in many, many ways.
Yes. What are you doing now to keep that flame alive?
We don't need much help keeping the flame alive.
No, we love each other so deeply. We spend so much time together. We're great communicators. We honor and respect each other.
I was a little snippy today. You had to take me to the gym, and I said, say thank you to that rowing machine because it helped get rid of all my snippiness. But we don't really fight. Life is very peaceful and very seamless. And that's what's so comfortable and wonderful. And he's so supportive. He always says, I'm the wind under your wings. And so for him to help me be able to fly is wonderful. And of course, he can do his own thing and he's smart in his own way. But he's also very supportive of me.
Wow. How do you follow that?
I just happened to be talking to somebody today, Kim, who goes to your hairdresser, and she said to me, Kim is so lovely.
Oh.
What things are you doing together? Like you talk about charitable events and things like that. What do you do together to inspire each other? We're forming new companies for me. So he supports me in helping areas that I'm not good at. We work out together. We do charity events together. We are working on raising money for the Holocaust Museum to be built here in Phoenix. We're going to do a video for them to bring awareness. And I think that there's probably a ton of other things that I didn't bring up, but it's just very easy to be with him. And sometimes, of course, we don't need to finish each other's sentences.
So the world is better since you both fell off horses.
That's right. That's right. But we do a lot of, we try to support and help all the causes here and around the country. Kim plays in 12 to 15 celebrity golf tournaments around the country. I go with her. I'm her caddy. My balls say AC on it, arm candy.
Which he promptly loses.
Yes, I lose them a lot. So we do a lot of those. We are helping, whether it be animal rescue groups here and other nonprofits like Child Help and you've also gotten very good at videoing. Like I'll be in the middle of a golf game. He's like, Kim, we're stopping here. You're going to do a quick video, say where you are, what you're doing. And I mean, sometimes it's just 20, 30 seconds, but he's just good at keeping me on task. Or I'm a very funneled person. He does 30 things at once. So we're good for each other. Yeah, I went from real estate developer to cinematographer, photographer.
What do you...
You're going to be looking for Kim because she has some big things coming up here in the future. We can't talk about it. We're going to tease you a little bit. But you're going to see her in a lot of places, not just around the country, but around the world. And everybody is going to be really happy to see the things that she's doing, how she's encouraging all of us on aging gracefully and naturally and wellness. And it's really exciting for her. And I think it's going to be really exciting for everybody else.
Give me some happily ever afters advice that you want to pass on to everyone else.
I would hold out and wait for the right one. Sometimes it comes late in life. You've really got to pray over it and figure out, number one, work on you. I think that's important. He worked on himself for 51 years.
Yes.
I had to get married to work on myself, to other people. But I think it's important to know who you are, what you want. Instead of getting your self-worth from someone else, you have to get it from yourself to be able to then give to someone. So I think working on yourself first and being patient, and love comes when it's supposed to come, and you only need one.
Don't rush and don't settle.
There you go.
Thank you. thank you very much for taking time, and welcome to Happily Ever Afters.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And where can we find you? What if we want to follow what you're doing, keep up with it?
All those videos Jeff's making for you.
Yes, Instagram is _Kim Alexis, website kimalexis.com, Facebook the Kim Alexis.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you
can find
both.
me with her.
Have a great time.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
This show isn't only about your stories, it's also about mine. I hope to learn from these captivating tales of love to enhance my own role as a partner, heartwarming stories, or inspiration to enrich your own relationship. Life